Welcome, guys, back to Mr. Cullen's class here virtually through YouTube at Fraternal Elementary School. Today, we're going to be doing something similar to what we've been doing, but we're just going to build onto it. What we're doing today is we're going to make equations based on equal rows. So we've been talking a lot about equal groups, so the number of groups, the size of groups. So now what we're going to talk about is equations with rows. So how many rows are there? How many are in each row? So what we're going to go through is specifically talking through the repeated addition first, and then we will talk through our multiplication. So I just want to have another little guide for us. So right here is going to be the number of rows times the size of the row. Still talking about the product. The product is still the same. The answer to a multiplication sentence. So we have a few pictures up here. I'm going to help guide along. So just a reminder, what I have up on the wall is what I sent you as a soft copy. You can easily pull it up on a phone. I'm actually streaming this through my phone, through the TV, to the projector, through Apple TV. You can pull up on a tablet, computer. You can print it off if you'd like. But just to kind of help guide you as we walk through this. Okay, so we're going to do a few examples, and then I'm going to pass out the quiz for you. So first things first, we're going to look at that building on the left, and it says how many windows? How many windows? So we're going to look at first, all right, the number of windows in each row, because we're going to do the addition first. So the number of windows in each row, and I'm actually going to draw this just so you give a better idea visually of what I'm talking through in my mind when I'm building my addition sentence. So when I first look at this, we can just stay here for right now, is I'm looking at how many are in a row. And I count that there's two there. So I'm going to record two here. And there's two. So this is two, two, and two. So each row has two in them. So we're simply just going to skip count. 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 2, 4, 6, and 8. We have 8. Excellent. So how many rows are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 rows. There's technically 4 groups. So we're just going to put rows. Number of rows, there's 4 rows. And there's 2 in each row. 4 times 2 is 8. Remember, parents, we also want to switch this around. So I'm just going to take this and move it down here to our multiplication line. 4 times 2 is 8. If we flip this and did 2 times 4, it is the same product. It's going to be a different picture. Maybe we talk through how it would change. You could easily get, some cars, some Fruit Loops, something, and put them on the table and show the array that we have here with 4 rows of 2. And then we could switch it and have 2 rows of 4. Show the difference of what that looks like. It's important to not only know what the product is for each one, but how they are different. So that's the first example. Now we're going to walk through a few of the other examples provided in here. So now we're really going to look at this spot right here. You might get hungry. Hopefully you haven't had lunch yet or breakfast. I'm not really sure when you're watching this, but we can all get hungry together. So the first one is we're looking at muffins. So I want you to first think in your mind, and I'm going to leave this here as an example for you for later on, is when we're looking up here, is how many is in a row? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I know there's 6 in that first row. and I know they're all the same amount. So there's 1, 2, and there's 3 rows. So I'm going to put 6 plus 6 plus 6. I got these numbers from the amount of rows there are. So 6 plus 6 plus 6. And the last lesson, we skip counted by 6s, so this should be pretty easy, right? In your mind, 6, 12, 18. Secondly, now we want to build our multiplication. So we know the size of our row is 6. How many rows do I have? 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 rows. So 3 rows, 3 times 6 is 18. That's what we're looking to do there. How would that look different if I did 6? Let me do it in a different color. If I did 6 times 3. Well, let me show you. So I would have 6 rows, okay, and they would each have 3. So it would look like this. So this is what 6 times 3 looks like. Up there at the top is what 3 times 6 looks like. Same amount. It's a different array. This is important later on as we get working through this booklet. Excellent. So we're going to do one more. And this is something, parents, that you can kind of create your own arrays, or a brother, sister, whoever is helping, create other arrays and just quiz them. Get them to build the addition sentence as well as the multiplication sentence. The next one is we're going to look at right here. I originally thought they were donuts, but I think they're bagels. But I'm kind of a fat kid, so we're going to pretend they're Krispy Kreme donuts because DoorDash delivers Krispy Kreme donuts, which I did last week. It was phenomenal. Highly recommend it. Here we go. We have our bagels. The first thing I'm going to look at is rows. I should have explained this first, okay? Rows are going across. Columns are going up and down. So we're going to rows. How many lines are going across? That's rows. I made a mistake. I should have explained that at the beginning. Rows are going across, how many lines there are, and then columns is the going up and down vertically, how many they are. Okay, so maybe this would be better, right? A row is going across. So this is 1 row, 2 row, 3 row. Columns is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, I should have explained that before. We'll straighten it out now. So now, let's look at our bagels. Go ahead and count that top row. How many's in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That looks like 5 bagels to me. Hey, sign me up. I like everything bagel. With cream cheese is good. But Panera has a cinnamon crunch bagel. Outstanding. If you get it toasted, it's delicious. If you like cinnamon toast crunch or like a Snickers or Twix candy bar, it's a great breakfast option. So that's 1. Then 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 rows, so I need 4 5s. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have 4 5s now. There they are. So I got 5, 10, 15, and 20. Go ahead and put 20 there. Second is, how many rows are there? There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's 4 rows. How many is in a row? There's 5 in a row. 4 times 5 is 20. The whole reason we're even doing this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is because we're not going to count by ones every single time. We're going to get the bigger and bigger arrays in the real world that are going to lead to more and more larger product numbers. So we can't always count on our fingers. We can't always count single file. So just knowing later on, we're going to get to a point where we're going to have so many rows and so many columns, we're literally just going to count across 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 times 5 is 20. So that's the area model. So you'll get that if you're in 5th grade, you've already got it. But working on area, which will be very important, as well as for geometry moving forward. You'll learn about area a lot. But the fundamental part is rows and columns. Great. So those are the 3 examples. So now what you're going to do is you're going to go to page 18, and there's 2 questions. So I would love 2 pictures. You can draw this picture, and then do the addition and multiplication. But I need addition sentence and a multiplication sentence for the garden, for the number of plants, and then for how many knitting needles. How many knitting needles? So I'll help you. Everyone has 2 knitting needles. So how many old ladies are there knitting? So I need addition sentence and a multiplication sentence. That's 2 questions. And that is the second lesson of this week.